something, I firmly believe the harder a person works, the harder it is for them to surrender. And when a person doesn't have anything invested in what they do, it's easy for them to walk away from it or don't value it because they didn't sacrifice anything for it and it didn't cost them anything. I'm reminded of a story, right, about a father and a son, and it's amazing because at the foundation of what this story was, this father was trying to find a babysitter, right, for his son, and so he couldn't, and he had to take his son to a conference with him. And so he told his son, I'm gonna just sit you in the back of the room, I'm gonna go to this conference, and I know you probably wanna enjoy it. And the son's sitting there, and a lady gets up to speak. And she's talking about impact, she's talking about service, talking about purpose, and the son loves it. After the conference, they get home that night, son goes into the father's room and said, Dad, man, I really enjoyed that. Dad said, that's cool. He said, I wanna do something to make a difference. Dad said, what do you got in mind? He said, can you get me a job at the local grocery store? I said, sure, that should be easy. What do you want to do? So I just want to bag groceries. I said, sure, no problem. Dad goes up, tell the people about it. They said, sure, no problem, bring him down. Son starts bagging groceries. 2 weeks in, he comes home to his father. He said, Dad, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. He said, but I want to do something to make a deeper impact. Dad said, man, yeah, I got it. Just when you bag their groceries, wave at them, tell them have a good day, that should work. The son said, no, I want to do something to make a deeper impact. Dad said, what do you have in mind? He said, I want to make note cards, and I want to put them in the bags. Can you help me make copies? Dad said, sure, man, I got your back. Son starts doing it. One day, the manager comes into the store. He goes upstairs to the team members. He said, why is everybody in line 8 in this little kid's line? He said, somebody get on the intercom, tell them we got 7, we got 6, and we got 5 open. They got on the intercom, they said, guys, we know everybody's in line 8, little Johnny's line. I want y'all to know we got 7, we got 6, and we got 5 open. Nobody moved. He said, go down to the floor and tell them. They ran down to the floor. Hey, guys, we see everybody's in little Johnny the baggage line. We got 7, we got 6, and we got 5 open. People said, we know. They said, we want to get his word of the day. They said it got so crazy, people started getting a stoplight away from the store, didn't need groceries, they would go and get a loaf of bread and be in line, calling their friends like, man, you gotta come here, you gotta get this little kid's note card, right? And the thing that blew my mind was, here you had this kid that drove business to an institution and it wasn't based upon a business strategy. It was based upon a heart and an intent that was geared in the right place, and it yielded a certain result. At the foundation of it was what? People. At the foundation of it, the X factor was how I treat people, how I value people. The product could take care of itself. At the foundation of it, it's this thing they say in football. It's not so much about the X's and the O's as it is about the Jimmys and the Joes. Meaning you can have whatever strategy you got. You could be the best coach in the world. You could be Nick Saban. But if you don't have a connection with the players and the people, the strategy that you have, it will never work. You can have all type of shoes. You can have the best people in the world. If you don't have a connection, it will never work. And so now when I see people, like I don't see them as just a James, a Allison, a Robert. When I see people and I connect with them, I'm like, that's not by coincidence. When I get offered the opportunity to do something, I'm like, man, I get an opportunity to do this. This is incredible. Like approaching it with the perspective of, I don't have to, I get to. And I'm a firm believer that perspective drives performance every day of the week. How a person view what they do will always affect how they do what they do. And so if I meet somebody and they say, oh man, I want to be rich, I'm like, cool, nothing wrong with that. But the true measure of your wealth is if you got it, then you lost it, then how much would you be worth? How much is your character worth? How much is your integrity worth? The problem wasn't even the adversity. That wasn't a problem for me. Like adversity is a part of life at this point. The problem was when the adversity happened, they couldn't respond to it, right? In other words, like people live life and think they're going to rise to the occasion. You don't rise to the occasion, you revert back to your training. Meaning who a person is every single day in every situation, like it's a mentality, its essence, its core, right? In other words, one of my best friends was the highest paid safety in the NFL a couple of years ago. He goes to a game, he's playing, everything is going great. Great person, right? Goes to make a tackle, he feels a lump in his chest. Make a long story short, we talked, they diagnosed him with cancer. Lymphoma. No signs of it. He starts going to chemo treatment at Emory University. Got all the money in the world. Great person. He's going to chemo treatments. We're in church one day. He comes out, he wipes his eyebrow, and his eyebrow is coming off. He starts scratching his hair, and his hair is coming out. He's standing in the bathroom behind the door, and he's trying to get somebody to go and get him a hat. And one day after chemo, he leaves chemo, and he goes and he jumps out on the track. And he's running 400s after chemo. And everybody from the time he left chemo and to the time he was being transported to the track, everybody was saying to him, go home. You just left chemo. Like you needed to go and let your body rest, man. Like chemo, it drains you. Go home. He's like, no, this is what I do. This is my routine. And as he's running the 400s around the track, he's crying. And he's crying and he says, I'm crying not because I'm in so much pain. I'm crying because I'm not who I used to be, but I know I'm going to come back one day stronger than I used to be. In other words, the opposition was just a part of it, but who he was every single day of his life, like he just responded out of sheer habit. And his people every single day, they live life and they got that light switch mentality. And it's predicated upon, I might give you everything I got if I get what I'm supposed to get. I might show up and go hard. I got the skill set. I might go hard if all the chips line up. If it unfolds the way I thought it was going to unfold, I'm going to give you everything I got. But if I don't get what I'm supposed to get, I might show up, I might not. And so I tell people every single day, man, give me character over talent. Because I know character going to be there. And talent might take a person to a place that their character can't keep them if it's not developed. If we didn't attack the opposition, the adversity, and the challenge in that moment, it would have paralyzed him for the rest of his life. Not physically, his perspective, right? There's a quote that says, your perspective can become your passport or your prison. When life knocks your butt down, I need you to get back up and I need you to go heavy on it. The lesson was when uncertainty creeps in, I need you to get back up and I need you to go heavy on it. The lesson was when you taste a little bit of blood, son, I need you to get up and I need you to go heavy on it. When things don't go the way you want it to go, I need you to get up and I need you to go heavy on it. In the midst of opposition, in the midst of challenges, in the midst of adversity, everybody has a purpose when everything is going well. But somehow, some people's purpose seem to forget when they face opposition, adversity, or challenge, and the things that they once said they wanted, they no longer want it when things don't go the way they want it to go. And so the only thing I want from you is, I know you could do what you do well. I know you could do it like it's nobody's business. I'm not a guy that's going to try to tell you how to do what you do. I got too much respect for you in order to do that. But the thing I do want from you is this. Never allow life to make you forget why you do what you do and why you live your life every single day. Opposition doesn't deserve that. Adversity doesn't deserve that. A challenge, it doesn't deserve that. Let's not only stay committed in our careers, let's stay committed to everything that we touch. Everything that we're a part of, let's make it better because of our presence. And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Meaning the first feeling we got when we first started doing it. Let's go back to that moment. That's my time. God bless you guys. Thank you.